Welcome back to WRPL. It's the podcast where we talk about all the things we are watching, reading, playing, and listening to. My name's Ben.
And I'm Steve.
Welcome back, Steve.
Welcome back, Ben. It's been far too
A
long.
whole week.
A whole week, yeah.
Even though it feels like we've been missing a bunch of weeks, like every other week we've just not been doing it, and that's not the case at all. I don't know if the weeks just feel longer or what, but I want to say up top, I apologize for the sound quality last week. There was some switcheroos and some good and bad. It's all over the place, but hopefully this week will be a little bit better.
I believe in you, buddy.
Let's start with a roll. Oh yeah, our main topic is the long walk. We got a bunch of other stuff.
12.
12. All right.
Okay.
Okay, purpley blue.
17.
Nice!
This might be your year, buddy.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I want to start off with a couple of just random things. Did you see the trailer for Wake Up Dead Man?
Oh, the Knives Out?
The Knives Out
Yes,
one.
I did. Yeah.
So, spooky. Benoit Blanc has some nice, beautiful long hair now. I like this cast. I think it's maybe the weakest of the three.
It's probably like
Jeremy
the least
Renner.
exciting.
Yeah, it's like Jeremy Renner and Mila Kunis. Like, okay, I guess.
Arguably just as good a cast as the other ones, but not as many big names, I think. Or
Yeah.
not like super...
But we'll see how they play out because,
Yeah.
you know, like they cast very well for a very specific
For sure.
reason. So I'm excited for
And
that.
I like that it seems like the one priest or whatever is kind of like his like sidekick for this.
Yes.
In a lot of
Which makes me
scenes.
think, okay, he did it. You know, that's my thought going in is he did it. He's putting on a big show. That must be it. But
I trust Ryan Johnson.
let's see. We had a really big death this week. Significant one. Maru died. The Japanese cat who loved getting into tiny little boxes. His big fat ass would just spill over, but he would try every single time, and
He gave it his best shot.
it's very sad. But he was old. He was one of the internet's first kind of personality cats. He will be missed.
In the great litter box in heaven. Do they even need litter boxes in cat heaven?
No, probably not. I mean, like, do they need toilets for humans? Like, are we still pooping up there?
I feel like cats will find a way.
They'll do it anyways. And
Yeah.
You'll just see the cloud and they'll have a little yellow stain and you're like, mittens! And then I tried a food thing. I guess it doesn't premiere until Monday the 15th, but because the manager knows who I am, I went to Popeyes and he's like, hey, you want to try the new hot sauce that we have? And sure, yeah, let's do it. And it's Hot Ones stuff.
Oh,
so they
okay.
have a sriracha flavor. It was like 3 out of 10 or 4 out of 10.
Sure.
It was fine. Tastes like sriracha, no big deal. Then they had the Apollo Last Dab, 11 out of 10. They come in like these little packets, almost look like wet nap packets. Okay. That thing fucked me up. Oh my God. I put a tiniest bit on part of my chicken and it ruined the rest of my meal. I could barely taste things. It was so hot. The flavor wasn't bad, but you kind of lose all that instantly because it is so damn hot.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about Hot Ones where like the stuff they make tastes good. Mm-hmm. Even like the hot shit.
Yeah.
It's like I want to keep eating this flavor, but it is destroying my insides.
Yeah.
And I just I can't do it, but I give credit to Hot Ones for making like good tasting hot sauce.
Yeah, it's not just chemical garbage. And then they had a Last Dab ranch. Ooh. And that was very, very hot. I tried it a couple of times, but it was just too much. My mouth was just burning and I wasn't having a good time eating my meal. And that's the highlight of my day. So I just went to their normal Blackened Ranch. But, a fun cross promotion. It's like, duh, why hasn't anybody taken on Hot Ones? But I can't see it being super successful with some of these flavors.
God, Sean Evans must be making so much fucking money.
Yeah, hope so.
Or
he
like
deserves
the company
it.
that owns Hot Ones.
Unless he signed a weird contract and he's getting enough to do his thing, but he's not, fuck off money.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get started.
You won, so technically you go first.
All right, I'll do. a couple of quick ones because you don't have as much as me, but two shows had their finales in the past couple of weeks. Twisted Metal Season 2 and The Foundation Season 3. Two of my favorite shows of this year. Twisted Metal is just a lot of dumb fun that you I don't know. Thinking about it, I should hate this show. It's kind of stupid and cringy, but I just like everybody so much, and it's just a good time. And the ending was a little, I don't know, they had some weird stuff that happened, but they had to set it up for a season 3, but I don't know if I really like what they did. Like,
Sure.
they revealed Minion. Minion was a final boss in some of the games, and he's like a demon from hell in a huge tank. Well, it's like a person in a suit, and like a devil suit. It didn't work for me.
Well, I'm going to guess it's doing the Marvel thing of just like, oh, here's Daredevil, but he's going to wear the black suit for the entire first season. And then at the end...
But it's not a demon. It's a character who died earlier in the season. He resurrects her and puts her in the Minion suit. So it's not even the same thing.
Oh,
so I didn't quite love that. But still, it's a good time. And then Foundation Season 3. Fuck, man, this show is so good. Everybody I tell who likes sci-fi in some way, you gotta watch Foundation. It's the best sci-fi show in years. I've never been a Star Trek guy, but this is deep, heavy science. It's not just laser guns in a space battle. This thing spans hundreds of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but hundreds of years over multiple seasons, and it's, I think, 30,000 years from our present, and they have no problem killing characters off. Jumping ahead 100 years, so now the whole cast has to be completely different because everybody's aged up. And then the monarchy, the empire. It's, I've explained before, but I don't know if you remember, but it's one man was like, I am the emperor of space, and he cloned himself. So there is an old one, and then one that's like 25 years younger, and that's the middle one, and 25 years younger, and that's the youngest. It's dawn, day, and dusk. And they just kind of grow up together, and every dawn turns into day eventually, and every day turns into dusk, and dusk has to kill himself, get into a laser and let himself be atomized, and then a new fresh baby is made for dawn, and that's the cycle. And so for hundreds of years they've been in control, and they've done some really crazy, interesting things with these characters, because one season someone's a madman and one's sympathetic, and then the next one doesn't even want to be king anymore, and one has gone completely off the rails. It's got to be fun for the actors to be able to play these characters over multiple seasons, and maybe have to play them differently every single time, and maybe even differently within the same season. It's a great, big story that took me a while to kind of understand what the fuck was going on, but if you just sit down, turn on subtitles, and dedicate yourself to it, because there's a lot of weird names and stuff, and you're like, wait, what is that? Is that a person? Is that a planet? And sometimes just seeing the words help.
Yeah.
But all in all, they do some crazy things in this where, Star Wars had the Death Star, and it was a planet killer. They outdo it in this one. So pretty crazy. More like a potentially galaxy killer could be. So, but good stuff. One of my favorites of the year.
Excellent. Well, speaking of sci-fi, I finished a show called Rick and Morty season 8.
Good.
Finally got around to it. Enjoyed the season. More of the same. I'm glad that it didn't lean too heavily on old Rick and Morty lore, in terms of they just do so much. Citadel of Ricks feels like that was all the first 7 seasons or 6 seasons or whatever.
And then the prime Rick, and we gotta get him. And
now
that he's dead, what do you do?
This season was definitely more episodic. I enjoyed Jerry's going through the closet episode and jumping through different things and meeting other Jerrys and stuff. Usually I'm not Jerry's fun, but I wouldn't say he's my favorite character. And sometimes it's it's a Jerry episode, but I enjoyed the Jerry episode.
Yeah.
The big emotional episode obviously was the finale where we finally actually get to see Rick's wife, and
Oh, we've seen her.
we
before.
have.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. But my throat.
The podcast. It's attacking my throat again.
But it was a nice finale. The Morty and his like son episode was fine, but it was probably my least favorite of all of
That
them.
and the Easter one are my two least favorite of the season.
Yeah, the Easter one was weird. The Beth becoming younger and stuff.
Two psycho
Young Beths was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like their cardboard fort of like death. But yeah, just some good old classic Rick and Morty adventures, fun stuff.
I really like
the Prometheus episode was pretty silly. Oh no, that was the bunny one. Yeah.
I mean, there was some funny stuff in it, but like I told you before, it just felt like the Alien versus Predator, Pilgrim and Indian one, like holiday with aliens. I really enjoyed. It's called Ricker Than Fiction, where they go into the movies with like the weird robot trees versus the cactus people, and it's getting rewritten as it goes. I thought that was probably my favorite episode, even though it's kind of considered one of the worst of the season. But that's what do they know?
What do they know on IMDb? But that. What is up with my voice?
It's the milkshake. It's all like, it gets you all phlegmy and stuff. Steve drinks about 4 milkshakes every episode.
Yeah, so, I'm always happy to see Rick and Morty. They never really let me down. Some episodes are better than others, but, that's everything.
Did the voices bother you at all this season?
Not at all.
Nope.
That's Rick and Morty to me at this point.
I saw them on a panel, and, like, both of those guys, they tried out for each other's characters as well. It's like, no, okay, you're Rick and you're Morty. So they had them like swap and do their other impressions, and they were both like really good. Especially the guy who does Rick, his Morty is really, really good. I just wonder, how they made that decision because they just sound so similar.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna say so. This is okay. So then I got 2 new shows. One's a returning one, and one is a brand new show. Start with the brand new one first because I just watched it today. Only the first episode is available, but I watched HBO's Task.
Oh, okay,
Mark Ruffalo.
This will be a show my wife and I watch after we get done some other stuff.
I don't know if I care enough to continue. Maybe I'll give it like 2 more episodes, but it's a little whatever, he's like you still don't have all the information, but he was a former priest turned FBI agent, but after a thing happened, he started drinking. His wife's not in the picture anymore. His adopted son is in prison. Don't know why these people are where they are. And then you got 2 friends who are garbage men who are casing drug dens to rob them. And so now Mark Ruffalo is on the case to stop him, and he's got a team of 3 new FBI agents who, maybe they're not the best and brightest, but they're all he's got. He doesn't want them, but he's got them anyways. And that's pretty much the whole first episode. And it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. This would have to really ramp up for me to start caring. But it takes place in like the Delco region.
Okay.
So like the accents are hilarious. His daughter works at Rita's, and he says like, oh, maybe I'll stop by for a water ice and a bouquet of roses. It's like it's such a.
Well, it's from the creator of Mayor of Easttown, and so I'm just like thinking of the PA accent or all that stuff. So yeah, that makes sense.
So that's always fun, and I'm glad that accent is really coming to light in the past 10 years. It was always you have a New York accent, you could have a Jersey accent, and then of course like the South and Texas and California. Everybody had their accents, but this one's just like so specific. You can't just really pick it up. Besides adding the for every O word, you really would have to work on it, and it's hilarious. But I don't know if it's enough for making me to continue watching the show. We'll see.
We're not really like a big crime show guy, though.
I mean, I don't like, especially if if there's a murder and they're like, we don't know how this could physically happen. There's dinosaur teeth marks on this person, but there's no evidence of dinosaur footprints. Well, what happened here? Like, yeah, what happened here? I want to know that. But when it's just, can this alcoholic take down these guys who are robbing bad guys? I'm like, whoop-de-doo. I don't know if it's enough to keep me interested.
You need some possible supernatural element. That's why, like, you can get behind True Detective because they're like, there's some weird shit.
Or it's a crazy serial killer that's doing Hannibal type stuff. But when it's just
guys robbing banks, or not robbing banks,
robbing drug dens, whoop-de-doo. And then big show coming back, Steve, your favorite.
Walking Dead Daryl Dixon.
Walking Dead presents Daryl Dixon season 3.
Man, I'm good.
So now that Daryl and Carol are reunited, the little French boy that they were trying to save is on a plane back to America, but the plane could only hold 2 people, and so now they're stuck in France. They learn about there may be help in the UK, so they get to the UK.
The little French boy, he's like the new Messiah, right?
Yeah,
or
people
something?
were thinking he was Jesus, yeah, because the zombies weren't attacking him because his mom was bit while she was like giving birth, so she was getting infected as he was being born, so maybe there's a latent zombie trait in there. They never really fleshed that out, but some people thought he was Jesus, and some people just wanted him to be just a regular boy. So now they are in the UK, they don't see anybody around, and eventually, zombies, of course, attack, and they break into an apartment, and the only person left in the UK is Stephen Merchant. And he makes his way over to them, and he's just like, yep, I'm the last person in the UK. Everybody else is dead. Like, the UK, when the zombie outbreak happened, they like pulled up all their bridges and stuff, and they wouldn't let anybody in. But as we know in the Walking Dead universe, you don't have to be bit by a zombie to turn into a zombie once you die. So then they were like kind of locked in.
Right.
And then everybody died, and he was the last one. So they, like Carol always do, she lies through her teeth and convinces him to like get on their boat and go to America with them, because you don't want to be lonely here. We got tons of hot babes in the United States, and maybe you can find a loved one. But then, of course, he doesn't know shit about sailing, and they wreck at the first storm. And they wash up on the shores of Spain, and that's kind of where it ends. Oh, yeah, Stephen Merchant is dead now. He turned into a zombie. It's really sad. Like, I know you've been alone this whole time, but we're going to get you a better life. Let us use your boat. Oh, you're dead now. Okay, bye! You got me going. So, in the ad for what's coming next, it does seem like here's another government made of a crazy person who's in control. Fuck, are we doing the same thing again and again and again and again?
Yeah.
Which yeah, I know. But especially for
15 years.
Just for Daryl Dixon, it just seems like we could have done something more. And maybe it will. We'll see.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I played a game called Viewfinder. It was a free game this month on the good old PlayStation Network. This game takes place in the future, and you are in a simulation built by scientists that have left clues as to like how to, or they were trying to figure out how to get plant life back on Earth again, because I guess I had to look it up. It's like, what the fuck is this game about again? But yeah, I guess there's the planet's dying, or there's very little plant life, so these scientists try to develop a way to like make plants or something like that. But in this digital world where you like walk around with a camera, and you can like take a picture, and then you can post that picture and then like walk into the picture. It's a puzzle solving game. You can beat the whole game, and if you like really know what you're doing, like each level can take you like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Or each sort of mission that you do is like 30 seconds long. If you know exactly,
I figured it was like kind of like Portal, where okay, now here's the next thing you got to get through, and then you get through a door or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, so for example, like here, there's a thing you need to get to, but there's a huge gap between you. What do? You can take a camera, take a picture of like a wall, take that photo, put it down.
Now it's a bridge.
And now it's a bridge that you can like walk across.
Yeah. And then you get through a door, and you have to do another one like that.
Yeah. and it's pretty good. It's like fun little art style, some clever puzzles. Most of them I was able to get through really quick. Other times I'm like, I don't fucking care enough about this game to like spend 15 minutes trying to figure this out. And I used YouTube like a bitch to figure it out because I just kind of wanted to get to the end in the later levels when some of them are just like, I have no fucking clue what to do here. And sometimes it was like, oh, that's so obvious. And other times like, I never would have guessed how to do that.
Yeah.
But so all in all, I give the game a C plus, B minus. Like it's a perfectly fine game. I wouldn't have spent money on it. Or if I did, it'd be like, this is a $5 game because you're only getting a couple hours out of it.
Yeah.
And like the story's not that deep, but there is some really fun, clever stuff. Like and it's not just pictures or whatever. You can find like a picture of like it looks like a kid's drawing of a house and stuff, and you can post that in front of you, and then you can walk in that picture and like open the door to the house and go in and like collect an item and stuff. There's one that is like it's like a painting or something of this sort of infinite like spiral thing, and you can like go along that for a while, and then there's a hidden room that has like paintings inside this. Like it's really clever and stuff. Like there's a really cool idea here that I'd like to see in like a bigger game, maybe something like, oh, if you could do this we haven't played Split Fiction yet, but it seems like a kind of thing like, what if you did a game where you're like jumping into artwork and stuff, and you have to like work with someone to do like seems like, give me that game. But all in all, it was fine. Glad it was a free game. That's what I appreciate most about the PlayStation Network, giving me stuff I never would play and then go like, wow, that was actually really fun and inventive and cool, but not worthy of my money.
And like, I know they have the bigger library where they have tons of stuff that's available to play, but I kind of like having this limited thing of them go, here's your 3 options for the month, and like, oh, okay, thank you. Whereas if that not Split Fiction, what's it called? Viewfinder was on that library of things, I wouldn't even touch it.
Yeah.
But because I'm limited to my 3, like, absolutely I will take that.
Might as well.
Yeah. My last thing, before you get to your last thing, I watched a movie today that you brought up on the podcast before, and Nick has also talked about. Now that it's available on HBO, I watched Warfare.
Oh, okay.
So, as I've said before, story of a battalion of men, soldiers in the Middle East, and it's the true story of them trying to, like, just, get the bad guys, and then when something bad happens, get the fuck out of there.
Pretty much.
90 minutes of doing that, and it's done extremely well. Really great sound design.
Yep, for sure.
The blood and guts was realistic and painful looking, and just the way, what's his name, Quinn?
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn.
Yeah.
Just screaming his head off pretty much 45 minutes of this movie. And then made by Alex Garland and one of the guys who's in it. They wanted to pretty much retell this story that happened to them because their buddy who lost his legs in this battle didn't even remember it happening. He like fucked him up so bad. He has a blank spot about this. And it's good fun. I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
I would say it's fun.
But... No, I think it's it's fun because it feels realistic and it doesn't feel like a movie about war. It just feels like war. But I think I give it a B+.
Oh, excellent. I wasn't sure if this would be your thing, but
yes and no. There's no aliens in it or anything, but this is good. If this was 2 hours and 15, absolutely not.
Brutal.
It's nice and short, and it doesn't bog you down with characters or story and motivation besides don't die. It's just a fun little thing.
Yeah, and I always I think I talked about it when we talked about it months ago, whatever it was.
It's like March, I think.
But I feel like I like that it kind of subverted I've seen so many movies, my brain goes like, okay, this character's going to do this character's going to do that, they're gonna have their cool moment or whatever. Where I'm just like, oh, the sniper guy, he's gonna be the fucking badass dude. And there's gonna be a moment where like he's gonna come in clutch and take motherfuckers out, and it's like, nope, he's the first one to kind of go.
Yeah.
And then he's just useless for the rest of the movie.
Gets rocked with a grenade, and then it's like, no, I'm still in this. No, you're not.
No,
Gets rocked by an
there's
IED.
nothing sort of like Hollywood about it in terms of just like there's no moment where the music swells and our heroes come in and really say, like, I mean, they get rescued and there is gunfights, but you never see like a super huge army of guys just like running and running and running. They're just gutting them down. You see guys like them shooting at people, but you don't really see what happens.
Yeah.
You see one or two guys fall, and that's about it.
Yeah, in a movie you would have someone just like headshot, 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 making all these great shots, but no,
look how great American soldiers are. But it's just like, damn, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they're just randomly shooting, hoping to hit something.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, good stuff.
So my last thing is I read The Last Ronin, The Lost Years. So this is not The Last Ronin 2, which I think is out recently. This is the story. It's a split story, but half of it is Mikey before he came back to New York. He
was in China or the Himalayas.
Yeah, he like went back to Japan where he was gonna like kill himself, and then decided not to, and this is like sort of the adventures in between then and coming back, and it takes place over like 15 years.
Damn.
Where he like gets trained under like different masters. He becomes blind at one point and is living with like Mongolian refugees, and there is like a new villain in the story called the Death Worm, who's like, this is his revenge quest because the Death Worm came and like killed this village, and Mikey was rescued by these people, and then the Death Worm came and killed all these people.
Is it a worm?
It's not actually a worm, but there is.
If any series could actually have a real worm,
it turns out to be just a guy, like Shredder. But at one point he gets captured by Death Worms, like a subgroup of the Death Worm. That throw him in a cage where they do like gladiator fights where like there's mutants and Mikey fights mutants and humans fight humans, and then the final fight for freedom, whoever wins this, it's one human versus one mutant, and whoever wins gets their freedom.
Are they making these mutants, or are they just finding them?
They're just finding them and forcing them to do it. So of course Mikey wins. I mean, Mikey's just like killing mutants. Yeah. Because he's like, it's the only way I can get out of here and survive. I got to do what I got to do. This isn't your like, Mikey's a good guy, like sweetheart anymore. Like Mikey's,
all of his brothers are dead.
Mikey is going through it. He's constantly talking to his dead brothers, like their ghosts are there, just like chatting with them and stuff. It's a really like bummer book in terms of like his storyline. The other half is the new Ninja Turtles, 2 boys, 2 girls, all named after different languages, like one, there's one called Uno, there's Yi, I forget the other 2. They're new turtles. Give me time to learn the names. But anyway, they're all very different looking. Like the Ninja Turtles have always sort of looked the same as the years have gone on. They're kind of like
all the same breed of turtle.
Yeah, like they've tried to differentiate them over the years. Like one's a little bit darker, or one's a little taller. Yeah, but like they've essentially kind of always looked the same, and then you tell them apart by the color of their bandanas and shit. These ones, you can instantly tell them all apart. They all have different, distinct looks.
There's one like a snapping turtle, one's a sea turtle, one's a Galapagos.
I couldn't tell you the specific turtle designs they were based on.
Are their looks extreme like that?
There's one that I would say looks snapping turtle-esque, and I'm guessing that's what it is, but I could be wrong. I'm not a turtle expert. But it's more like one has like yellow. It almost looks like they're wearing a yellow bandana or an orangish kind of one, but that's just the skin.
Okay.
There's the big one who you think like, oh, that's the tough Raph one. It's the biggest sissy of the group, and like kind of the more baby one. Okay. Because I think they're not teenagers quite yet. They're preteens. This is like the middle school turtles. But they're April's daughter has been training them and raising them and they call her mother and also sensei. And April O'Neil's their grandma. And it's just kind of like you're just introducing these characters into like what's to come and seeing their personalities. And there's some fun stuff there. And you see this like futuristic rebel world that like now that the Foot Clan is done for, like who's rising to power, like the Purple Dragons and this other military group, and you're not really getting like a villain arc over there. You're just setting up things to come and introducing all these new characters. But I liked all the turtles, and I liked their designs, and they don't have their own like colorful bandanas, but they had kind of like cool like ninja gear. Like they haven't graduated yet, but at the very end, they all have once they become like ninjas or whatever. Because it's like they have their first mission with grandma while their daughter goes out on a date with a cop, and she's like, don't tell my daughter." But they, become ninjas, and they all have everyone, all the original Turtles weapons. Like it's not like you get the size, you get the sword. You all kind of get the Last Ronin treatment. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like they're not master of none, they're master of all of them. So if you do more stories with these four turtles and Casey Jones' daughter as their sensei, and April O'Neil is kind of like not necessarily a Master Splinter type, but April O'Neil's got her own thing and she's badass. Like it's a real fun stuff that they could do with it.
Did they purposely make these turtles? Because is it like a Amanda Waller, the world needs a Batman, so I'm going to manipulate things to make sure we get a Batman? Or was this another, oh shit, an accident with another four turtles?
No, it's been a minute since I read The Last Ronin, but at the end you see April O'Neil's daughter, like, Mikey is dead, he defeated the Foot Clan, and I don't know where they got him or whatever, if it's just like something she picked up, but now that the turtles are dead, they're like, well, we need new heroes. So you see her like standing over like a bowl with four like tiny turtles in them. And you can just assume, oh, she's gonna, I guess, pour mutagen on them, and they're gonna grow up. So this is obviously like years in the future after or I don't know how long it takes mutagen to like fully form children into turtles, or Ninja Turtles. But it was pretty good. It wasn't as like awesome as The Last Ronin, because I think Last Ronin was such like a dark take and like this sudden cool idea. Where it was just kind of fun to like have like an in-between thing before Last Ronin 2, which I will read at some point. But yeah.
What happens in Last Ronin 2? Is that about these turtles?
I am assuming. Yeah. I guess this Last Ronin universe is just it's all about the new turtles now.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I haven't looked into it. This is just the Lost Years.
It'll be interesting because like they're doing a Last Ronin movie, live action movie, so it'll be interesting to see where they.
Are they doing live action? I thought they were doing a game.
No, I think they're doing a movie as well.
Oh, maybe.
It'd be interesting that the thing that I grew up with and I watched as a kid. Now we're finally getting some evolution, and I know in the comics they've done a lot of shit even before the Last Ronin stuff. There's a lot more different mutants and things. Like what was his name? Like Old Scratch or something, or Old Bob?
Old Cobb, yeah.
Old Cobb. Yeah. Like that stuff I hear is really good. But it'll be neat to see when the first animated show hits Nickelodeon and it's the new Turtles, and that's what this next generation will grow up with. And then down the line, they'll go, oh, there was turtles before? I never knew that.
Yeah, the only thing that's interesting is just I don't know if they have other things coming with these turtles, but the Last Ronin universe is violent. Like, this is not... It's the Turtles, but
the original
it's not...
Turtles were violent, and they turned it into a kid's cartoon show anyway.
Well, sure. So... it's like, yeah, if you are going like more accurate to this version of the comic books, like, Mikey is cutting people down. Like people have in the gladiator fight stuff, they had explosives in their neck, so if they like didn't fight or tried to run away,
putting explosives
they do. And like one person sacrificed themselves, so you just see their head getting blown off. So it's like that's the world that this comic is establishing. So I'd like to see them keep that, but that is not kid friendly if you're trying to sell toys. Like
sure.
So we'll see what they do with it, or if they're just like, hey, these comics aren't selling, fuck these little kids. They only care about Mikey, Donnie, and Raph and Leo. It's like,
I can see
give it a shot.
They get doing the new Turtles and just having a thing like after the four original Turtles retired, April O'Neil and her daughter create four new Turtles, and they leave it just very vague.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, after they retire, no, they were brutally murdered. Yeah, the kids don't need to know that, and then just have the the fun adventures of the 4 new turtles.
Mm.
And then everyone gets to say, oh, it's woke because now there's 2 girls. Let's move on to our main topic. So this week we had a couple of new movies come out. None of them sounded interesting enough, except for The Long Walk, a movie that I didn't know was rated R until 2 minutes before the movie started.
Oh, okay.
I heard like, oh, this is really brutal. And it's like, well, brutal for a PG-13 movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is Hunger Games. You sell this type of story to kids. It wouldn't be rated R, right? And then I checked the poster. I'm like, huh, interesting. And then when the first kid gets his face blown off, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, they ain't fucking around on this. So, Steve, what's The Long Walk?
The Long Walk is based on a book by Stephen King about a group of kids who sign up for this competition called The Long Walk, where if you all you do is you walk forward, and you just keep walking until you're the last person standing, and the last person standing gets a ton of money and 1 wish.
That threw me off.
And
like, a wish? Is this Twisted Metal? What the fuck?
And you're not allowed. You just pretty much the only rule is you're not allowed to like stop. And if you do, they will murder you.
Got to maintain 3 miles an hour.
Gotta maintain 3 miles an hour. Can't like attack any of your other competitors, and you can't stop. Yeah.
Yeah, did they say you can't attack each other?
I believe they did. They breezed over real quick, but I believe that was established.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like, I'd be tripping people, I'd be stabbing throats, because I am not maintaining that
I think
speed.
my guess is the very first long walk, that's what happened. Like, they're all dead by, like, mile 25. Like, we need to, like, make this more entertaining, so don't hit each other. So yeah, that's the story. It's a story of Ray Garrity, a young boy who wants to win for his own reasons, along with a whole cast of characters who have their own agendas.
Yeah, one for every state.
There's 50 competitors, one for every state. In the book, it was just 100 random
randos. Yeah.
I haven't read the book, but I did some research on it.
Yep.
I assume you did as well.
I mean, I read the IMDb trivia.
There you go.
That's what we call research.
I read the Wikipedia.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, so directed by Francis Lawrence, who directed the Hunger Games films.
Except for the first one.
Yeah. And yeah, Ben, so what did you think of The Long Walk?
I thought it was pretty good. You know, I enjoyed it. It didn't, suck my tits or nothing like that. It was good. And
is that your rating scale?
Yeah.
Not F to A. It's like, did this movie suck my tits or not?
It's good. Acting is great. I think it looks really nice, especially for being how kind of boring it is. Yeah, it'd be really easy to populate this road with tons of crumbling buildings or a ship that has been rusting in the sun. Make it way more apocalyptic, but it is realistic. But it still looks really nice. Like I said, the acting is great. Everybody does a really good job. But I don't even know if it's missing something. I think just by the end, it was like, yep, that was a good movie. And not a great movie, but it was a good movie.
Well, this might be my favorite movie of the year.
Really?
I really, really like this movie. Now, don't get me wrong. Like something like Sinners is a far better film, but there's something about this movie that I just really, really liked.
Mm-hmm.
I have minor gripes, but all in all, like, not affect my overall enjoyment of the film. But yeah, I just really liked how simple and effective it was. Like, this is the kind of movie like that I think I would have liked to direct if I was talented in any way.
Sure.
I think that, so you have a really good director. Like, I enjoyed all the Hunger Games films, so he knows sort of this, like, child competition murder thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's directed well enough where, like, you're just watching people walking, and It's pretty much just road. There isn't anything all that interesting to look at. It's mostly just like the woods or like an open field.
Sometimes you cross over a dam or a small town.
Yeah, but really, there's not a lot to look at, but you don't mind because you're so invested in the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked every character that they introduced, and you don't get even like a ton of time with a lot of them, but I still like got who they were and why kind of like why they were there.
Mm-hmm.
And you sort of get the whole scale of like what would people go through during this kind of thing, and there were times I'm just sitting there like, so what's like the fucking bathroom scenario? And as
Oh
I'm
my
thinking, as I'm
God.
thinking about it, they
Yes.
answer it, and it was fucking disgusting.
I
I
can't
didn't
believe we saw a butt take a poo. Like
I couldn't believe I saw diarrhea happening.
not a sideways coming out of butt cheek.
Yeah,
Like
it's not like a comedy movie from the 2000s where they're doing poop humor and you're just like, oh, and you just it's a, if you told me they actually did, I'd be like, oh my god, yeah. They did. Like,
I mean, they even talked like, hey man, you didn't get to wipe your ass. Get the fuck away from me. You smell.
But yeah, I think the two leads, Ray and Peter, great.
Yeah.
Really put on some really good performances. I didn't realize that was Philip Seymour Hoffman's kid, and I was like, of course, the greatest actor of all time, giving birth to another great actor.
My roommate was like, I really like that main kid because you don't see a lot of ugly people in movies. And she's like, okay, don't take it the wrong way. It's like, no, I know what you mean. He's not typically...
He's not Hollywood hot.
He's not Hollywood hot. He just looks like a kid.
He looks like a normal person.
And then she's like, oh, it's Philip Seymour Hoffman's kid. I'm like, of course. Of course it's him. Because God forbid you give it to an up-and-coming nobody. It's got to be fucking Nepo baby shit, of course. But...
I mean, that guy's first movie was Licorice Pizza, which I think I'm the only person who saw that movie. Yeah. But a P.T. Anderson movie? Or Paul Thomas Anderson. P.T. Who am I thinking of? Who's the other guy?
You're thinking of like P.T. Barnum.
No.
You're thinking of Paul W.S.
Paul W.S. Anderson. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah.
Just PTA.
PTA.
Yeah.
Which, like, I really like Licorice Pizza, and he's really good in that. And that was his very first movie. He's great in this. And he was in Saturday Night, which is the SNL one. He only had like a smaller role in that, but good in that. Like the kid, it's got talent. He's picking some good roles. But anyway, it's always fun to see Judy Greer.
What's the other guy's name?
David Johnson.
I was not David Washington.
Who I've only ever seen in the Alien Romulus movie, but he's
the best person in that.
Yeah, best person in that movie.
Yeah, I looked at his IMDb and it's just like, yep, nope.
So after this movie, I expect big things from those two.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just had a really, really great time. The violence was brutal. I was like constantly like, I was never bored.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could probably shave like 5 minutes off of it, like especially in that back half where it's just kind of like, after a while you're like,
it's pretty repetitive.
It's kind of repetitive.
Yeah.
But it's never like egregious or boring or like I always was invested. I enjoyed the camaraderie of a lot of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
They were never like, they're like, hey guys, this situation sucks for all of us.
Yeah.
We might as well not be dicks to each other. Mm-hmm. And they like make each other laugh or help each other out. And yeah, I had a blast with this movie. And we'll get into minor gripes if you want to get into that. But
no, episode over. We're done now. Well, what I want to know is like, what is this war that we went through that plunged us into such an economic problems that we would have to do something like this? Like in Hunger Games, they don't spell it out, but I guess like within the books, we know it is America. There was like a catastrophic earthquake or something, right? That kind of fucked up America.
No, it's been a long time since I read the books. I think there was a war of some kind, and it sort of just readjusted like everything, and then it's like broken up into districts, like nuclear war on one district, and then they're just like, this is how we all operate now. Was
this a war, like a civil war, between states? Was this a foreign war that they sent up a bomb and it was like an EMP and it wiped out all of our financial information, and now as a country we're broke, and so now we are destitute? Like, I'd like to know a little bit more backstory of how we got to this point and how they are able to just give out all this money to get people to do this once a year that is filmed. It just doesn't feel as big as like a Battle Royale or a Hunger Games in in the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like in Hunger Games, this is the thing. This is the Olympics and the Super Bowl and the Oscars. It's everything for, the biggest thing of the year. And this feels so much smaller. Is this supposed to... They say it's like to motivate people to do better, like their production of everything goes up, but is that it? It just feels like such a small thing to have such an impact on the country. And I don't know, I think I need to know a little bit more about this world to be satisfied.
See, I'm in the opposite camp. I think it gave us all the information that we needed. Like, we never saw the audience. Like,
watching on TV.
Yeah. We really never got to see the world itself, and like they just mention a war. I kind of like that. It kind of just keeps it about the kids and this journey that they're on, and I like that it feels like modern, just like how they all carry themselves and how they talk. But this book was written in the 70s, and if you look at sort of the only stuff that we saw, it all looked kind of old timey. Like this could have been set in the 70s or the 80s. It could have been
the 30s,
and we wouldn't really know. I wouldn't say the 30s.
I don't know. Seeing like old pickup trucks with all their belongings as they sit on the side of the road in their rocking chairs felt very old to me.
Well, sure, but it's like, did that war happen in the 30s and we just haven't recovered since then? Is this just like the poor area of the road? Is this what all of America kind of looks like? We don't know. But we don't need that. We just know something bad happened and this is what we're doing. None of that information really bothered me. My major nitpick with this movie, my main thing is the villain of this movie, Mark Hamill.
Okay.
Love Mark Hamill.
Sure.
And he's putting in a solid performance as the major, the guy who runs this competition. My only questions are about him. Like, is he the president of this country? Is he just like the game show host of this event? Like, obviously, we find out that the major has killed Ray's dad, and that's why Ray signed up for this, so he can hopefully win the competition and kill the major.
Yeah.
And it seems like the movie kind of goes like, the major has so much power, but we never know why. There never is like a long conversation with him and the character. He's just kind of like the figurehead of the military-industrial complex or whatever. And
he's
just like
Pete Hegseth or Colin Powell or something.
It's just like, how much power does this guy have?
Yeah.
And it seems like he must have a lot, but then we get to the end, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But once, like, I don't know because I don't know the world, like, his value, whatever happens with him, I don't, like, I feel like I don't get enough of like why I should be like, this happened, or because he's not really. He has like 10 lines in the whole movie. It's like and it's like, oh man, he's such an evil bad guy. It's like, yeah, he's like a killer, obviously, but I don't know this guy.
Yeah, he's known to everybody. Everybody's like, ooh, don't piss him off. He's the colonel. He's the bad dude. So he's like world renowned. He's been doing this thing every year, but he could also be there to kill our lead's dad, like personally. Is he stationed out of this state, or did he fly in specifically to kill this guy? Doesn't he have better things to do? Like, it feels like he would never be there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think this movie just has a villain problem, if like you're positing that this is like the guy that we need to bring down, but you don't really like give us anything about the guy.
I don't think we needed to shoot him at the end. I think in the book he doesn't get shot.
Yeah, in the book he doesn't die, and Ray wins.
Yeah,
they changed the ending. Ray wins, where in the movie Peter wins. And like after reading about that version and seeing this version, neither one, like, they're both fine. You pretty much get the same sort of result.
Sure.
I think I'm okay with Peter winning versus Ray, even though I feel like we had all this flashback. Like, Ray's obviously the main character. You get a flashback. He has, like, not only this bigger goal, but also like, oh, well, he's going back to his mom. We don't get to know any of the other characters outside of their life. And we learn about Pete's past, and he's just, I just want to do something good. And it's like, so in the old-timey Hollywood ways, it's like, well, of course Ray's going to win, because that's the happy ending. But I like that Peter won, and I'm okay with him winning, but it's like, I want to see him do good. Like, him getting revenge for Ray
is going to negate everything.
Don't get me wrong, it feels earned, because I enjoyed their brotherhood that we've established over these 5 days. Like, really great chemistry between these two. But it's just kind of like, well, you took the guy who had, like, nothing but, light and shine, and then you, like, made him a cold-blooded killer at the end. Yeah. It's like, I'd much rather him just go, like, okay, this isn't going to really change anything. I might as well use all this money and power to, like, do the good I wanted to do. Because I can see that's the happy ending.
The government's just going to go, well, you killed this guy. We're not going to honor and give you the money and let you go. I would assume. I feel like he's going to get.
I think the movie tries to like make it open ended, even though it's not shot really open endedly. Where in the book it is sort of more like, did Ray actually die at the end because he's chasing like a ghost figure at the end, which I'm glad they didn't do, even though that feels the most Stephen King thing you could do. I think it's a more like poetic ending to the book, which I like. But if you suddenly introduced a shadowy figure at the end of this race, you'd be like, what the fuck is this about? Now, if it's you establish like hallucinations happen along the road and there's like not a supernatural element, but like at least you've said like, oh, people can see things because their body and brain are shutting down. Yeah, great. Then you can do that at the end.
He's seeing his dead dad the whole time with a bullet hole, just like waving him along. And then at the end, he's at the end of the street waving him along, and he goes and runs after him. Yeah. Something as simple as that.
You could have gone that route, and I think either version's fine. Neither one, I think, is... I mean, once again, I've never read the book, but just going off the ending, I think both are just as fine. Yeah. Let's see what another like very tiny gripe is at the very beginning of this movie, Owen, the Asian kid, and
new
Karate Kid, and David Johnson. There was and then the guy from Baton Rouge. There were times they were talking like, what the fuck are they saying? Yeah. Like there were some times where I'm like, I don't know what he just said, and I think the new Karate Kid was supposed to be doing like a New York accent, and I don't know if this is me, but I just thought he was doing a Chinese accent before, like after a while I was like, oh, I think that's supposed to be New York. Yeah. Because I've heard this actor talk in interviews, he doesn't have an accent. No. He's just a guy.
Yeah. It sounds real phony.
And so his New York accent, I don't know if it's bad or good, but it just, I couldn't tell what he was saying half the time. And so yeah, there were some audio things where I'm just like, this is where I would need the subtitles, and I hate subtitles, but sometimes you just gotta throw them on. Have it, but yeah, I liked the Four Musketeers. Yeah. I liked the scene where Judy Greer shows up on the side of the road, and he's like apologizing. Like that was all. The hill scene where they're going up is like really tense, and just all these kids just like dying next to him, and he's just like trying to stay awake. As the miles were going up, I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, they're at like 200, they're at 360 miles.
It's one thing to like walk that distance. It's another thing to be awake the entire time. Like they've been up for over 100 hours.
Yeah. And well, they kind of like, they breeze over it, and I'm fine with it. It's just, they're getting sleep. They just have to like hold each other up but like walk while you sleep, which is crazy. This whole movie, I was just thinking like, I wonder, you can't help but wonder like, how long would I make it? But the second, I think I would get like 6. The hill would I would get 6 hours in, have diarrhea, and be like, just kill me. There's no fucking way.
And they talk about how everybody signs up. It gives you the illusion of choice because you're not mandatory. It's not mandatory to do, but everybody signs up anyways because everybody needs help. I still don't think I would do it because I would know I'm not going to get through this. It's like signing up for American Ninja Warrior. Yeah. And if I don't get first place, I die. I know I'm not going to do that. So I don't think I would sign up for this. And I don't think I would get that far. I think maybe 6-7 miles. I could really dedicate myself to that.
Well, you've been smoking for hours. Like your lungs would give out.
But it's the maintaining of the speed as well. So yeah, I'd do about 7. I'd be like freaking Jojo Rabbit, first kid to die.
I think you can get to 10 just for the sheer like, I'm gonna die if I don't keep walking. But
That's why I would be like taking people out and trying to trip them and stuff because I'm not making it to mile 300. Absolutely not.
that well, when he lost his shoes, I was like, and then they were already bloody when they came
Yeah.
out. I was like, holy fucking Christ!
Yeah.
And then he just like kept going for like a long
Yeah.
time. It wasn't like he was like at the home stretch. I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, you could say like the last 40 miles were the home
Hmm.
stretch, but just like even on like roads that aren't like it's a paved road, but like all those little gravels are just cutting up your
Yeah.
socks and feet. Like there's no fucking
No way.
way.
Yep.
My only thought was just like, so are you not allowed to like they could pack some stuff like they packed baseballs? Like, can you not pack like a thing of flip flops, or you just get the one pair of
I don't
shoes?
know. Yeah, they don't provide you with the shoes,
Yeah,
and you could bring your own stuff, but they did have to show their bags
yeah,
as
yeah.
they came in. So maybe they have like a no flip flop policy.
Yeah. I mean, flip flops would be great anyway, just because like I imagine you're so
Oh,
tired, you're like constantly like.
Scraping your nails. I don't want to think about it.
I would just mean like you're catching the front part and you're like
Sure.
tripping, and that's because like they're not the prime shoe, but if it's that or just like bare
Barefoot,
feet
yeah.
essentially,
And you would drive people nuts with your.
yeah. But yeah, I liked pretty much everything about this movie. I had a blast. I liked the lore it gave, but just enough to like tell you what you need to know. The rules were clearly established. I mean, you could like dive in like the flip flop question. Like, there's that kind of stuff, but
Sure.
like that doesn't really matter. You just go with like, oh, they only get one pair of shoes. Who
Yeah.
fucking cares? But yeah, I would not want a long walk too or anything like that.
Yeah.
But,
Whereas, like, yeah, I could see doing sequels for the Hunger Games or anything else. This, now we got it.
yeah, there's a version of this where it's like, oh well, we only really saw Ray's story. Let's go see all the other characters, and then each episode is episodic. It's
Sure.
and you introduce everyone's backstories. You don't need them.
Don't know.
The only other. I have two pitches.
Okay.
Well, not. I have one pitch and then like a note. So my note is the only thing that bothered me about Peter is that he never seemed to be like challenged in any way. Like
Okay.
it seems like his whole goal was to like keep Ray like he never seemed tired.
Yeah.
He never got like angry or frustrated. I know that was kind of his character. He was like the nice guy of the group and kept everyone's spirits up, and I really enjoyed him. But like Ray got just looked shittier and shittier like every day. He looked terrible by the end. Like he looked like he walked that distance. Where like Ray from the beginning to now to the end looked the exact fucking same. Like he
looked nice and
never
refreshed.
yeah, it never seemed like he was tired. Like he always kind of went like, oh yeah, you like someone's leg is spasming, and it was like, yeah, mine did it a while back. I was like, well, show us that. Like show Peter like struggling a little bit. But it seems like the only time he was really struggling was to like keep his friends awake. He never. Yeah, that was my only gripe with his character. It's just like I just kind of wish he did like if there was just one moment where it's just like, oh man, like. Because in the book it says like he goes to like he's about to walk off the road and Ray saves him, and so like he pays him back and saves him later in the book, and like they look out for each other. Where like Ray never had to look out for Peter really. It's just like he was just always there.
Yeah.
And my other pitch was like, here's the Stephen King thing of just like, what if Peter wasn't there at all? It was all like in his head or something like that. It was all
his friend from childhood who signed up for the long walk last year.
Now, obviously, everyone interacted with him, and I was just like, oh, well, maybe Ray was the first kid who died, and this whole thing was a dream sequence.
Sure,
Or he does make it to the end, and it's like, hey, Ray, you go on. It's like, oh, man, you already won. Or like he was there and then died like 5 miles back, but Ray just kept going. It's like, no, he's here with me. Something like that. You could have done some Stephen King shit. I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
But there's a part who's just like, I could see Peter not actually existing in a different version of this movie. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm going to give this movie an A-. Had a blast.
Better than 28 years later, huh?
Well, no. So I went through my all the movies I saw this year, and I was like, let me just see where this lands. And it's like 28 years later, I think I like more than Sinners just because it does so much interesting stuff, but Sinners is a better movie overall. So like it can either be like third or first depending on how I'm feeling. But just after seeing this movie, I spent all day at work just kind of thinking about this movie, and it's really stuck with me, and I just had a really good time. Like I think I have more gripes and things to pick at 28 years later in Sinners, because I think I gave Sinners like a B plus, and did I give 28 Days Later? I don't remember what I gave it, but those are my top three of the year. And like I said, I think those two are better movies than this. But I just really, really had a good time with this, and uh, I think this movie is really great.
All right. Well, I got a surprise.
Ooh,
It sounds really pathetic being episode 167, but we got a letter.
we got a
We
letter.
got a letter from Iceman1280.
Hi, Iceman.
Yes. He says, Dear Ben and Steve, recently I had a very dorky friend of mine put together a collection of movies that he calls Phase Zero. These movies consist of a handful of Marvel movies that time forgot, or should have been locked in a closet somewhere. I'd like to see what your take on them would be. Unfortunately, we aren't able to watch the Captain America movie because we're region blocked. But so he has a list with YouTube links for all these things. I'm gonna guess you haven't seen a goddamn one of these.
Okay, probably not.
I think I had seen 3, maybe.
How many's on the list?
It's like 10 or something.
Okay.
So starting off in 1978, Doctor Strange. It was like a TV movie, kind of a pitch for a TV show, never really took off. It's not very good from what I've seen. I haven't actually watched it, but there is a movie called Dr. Mordred that what's his name? He's from Reanimator. They wanted to make a Doctor Strange movie, but they couldn't get the rights, so they're like, fuck it, we'll just use our Doctor Strange script and we'll just change some stuff.
Got it.
That one I watched as a kid, and I remember really enjoying that. Then there's Captain America in 1979. There's also a Captain America 1990. They're both very bad. I think the 90s one is a bit better just because effects wise, but it still looks super duper cheap. The only thing I remember from the 1991 is Captain America employs twice his tactic of being in a car with someone and going, oof, can you pull over? I think I'm going to be sick. And he pulls over and walks away, pretends to throw up. The driver comes out, and then he just runs back to the car real quick and steals it. He does that twice in a movie. The 79 one, I think I watched as a kid. I don't remember at all. Except I think maybe Red Skull looked really stupid. Or they did something like, I got plastic surgery. Now I no longer have a red skull. You know, just so you don't have to do the effect. Then there's 2 incredible ones. The Incredible Hulk Returns, 1988, and The Trial of the Incredible Hulk, which I think has Matt Murdock in it as his lawyer. These came out after the TV show was done, but since it was still popular, they did some TV movies for him. I have not seen any of the Incredible Hulk, none of the TV show.
Lou Ferrigno the Hulk in these 2 versions? Okay.
Yes. Yep. Same cast and everything.
Gotcha. Okay.
Then we have The Punisher, 1989, with Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher.
I do know of the existence of this movie. I've never seen
it. It's not that bad. It's just very minimal. Like, he doesn't feel like the Punisher compared to other incarnations. It just feels like an 80s vigilante cop movie.
I must punish you.
And then we have the 1994 Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie that got made, got shelved because of a rights issue. If they didn't make a Fantastic Four movie every couple of years, they were going to lose the rights, so they spent $1 million to cobble something together. This is the one I want to watch the most, and I haven't been to a comic convention in a long time, and I always meant to pick up one of those bootleg copies of it. I've seen enough video footage of it, but the Doom looks pretty good. The Thing looks really great for being, you only have $1 million for the entire budget, the entire movie. The Thing looks pretty good. I think Johnny and Reed and Sue, they're all fine, but they all look, I don't know, too young and too old at the same time. You know, when you look at, you watch Grease and all the people who are supposed to be in high school, but they're actually 38 years old. It kind of looks like that, but they look also too youthful to have the experience that they're doing. It's weird.
Fair enough.
And then the Human Torch effects, not so good. Very, very bad. But yeah, I'm hoping to pick that one up. And I don't know if you know, these 4 who played the original Fantastic Four are in First Steps. in
really?
the intro where it's like, thank Fantastic Four, thank you, thank you. They're in one of the bubbles and they're just like, thanks, and giving a thumbs up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice of them. Then we have Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
This is
1998.
David Hasselhoff
This
one.
is the David Hasselhoff one, yeah. Which
I think I've seen like 10 minutes of this movie. Like it came on TV one time when I was younger, and I was like, oh, okay, weird.
It's not terrible. And I think David Hasselhoff is like the perfect Nick Fury. If you look at those old comics, he looks just like David Hasselhoff. This was a way to go. And I think also it was kind of a backdoor pilot. Maybe this could take off and become a show of its own. It didn't. It's pretty low on there. It's no Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's a fine, fun watch. And then the very last one, Man Thing from 2005. This is the one I've seen for sure because I've seen it like 3 times. Like I watched it once when it first came out. Like I think I rented it from a Hollywood Video, I think, and then caught it on streaming and then watched it. I think maybe only like a year or 2 ago. What did I watch? It was when Werewolf by Night came out. So Man Thing was going to be in that, and it's like, okay, I'm going to watch the other Man Thing.
Man Thing's Marvel, Swamp Thing's DC, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Swamp Thing's better. Swamp Thing has a better arc. I never read either one of them, but from what I know, Man Thing's kind of boring. But in the comics, they were like released a month apart. So I don't know if it was people stealing or if they just kind of had the similar ideas. It's an Australian production. It's not very good. Man Thing is just a big evil monster, rips people up. It is rated R. It's bloody. People do die. I would say the only bit of notoriety it may have is the podcast that I love, The Weekly Planet. They do a weekly show called Caravan of Garbage, and they just go over old nerdy stuff. So like a new Fantastic Four movie's coming out, they'll review all the old Fantastic Four movies. And they were reviewing Man Thing because, there's only so many comic book things. And there's a character who yells the name Rodney a bunch because he's looking for his friend Rodney in this swamp. And they did a supercut of it. And so every episode they'd go like, oh, now we're going to do some trivia. So like, here's the trivia music and the guy who says Rodney. And then they play it over and over. And it became kind of a thing. They've retired it
Man Thing?
Oh, good one, Steve. And it's funny and it makes me laugh every time. So yeah, that's according to Iceman and his friend. This is Phase Zero.
Iceman, Phase Zero. All right. Well, thank you for the letter.
Yeah,
I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Sorry.
I wish I saw those movies to talk about them, but I'm also kind of glad I haven't because they all seem mostly terrible.
Yeah, we really had to get to a point where special effects could do them justice because all these old superhero properties just look really cheap.
As Harvey Dent once said, the night is always darkest just before the dawn. So we had to go through some dark times to get to the bright MCU, and then you just live long enough to you become the villain.
And then now the Fox and X-Men universe, that could also, like, this really should be like phase -1, and then all the old X-Men stuff that is gonna get kind of absorbed into the new MCU, the Daredevil, the Ghost Rider, the Ang Lee's Hulk, that's all kind of phase 0 because that was really the Blades and all that. Yeah, but now it's all going to be non-existent. We're going to get Doomsday, and he's going to wipe it all free.
And we'll talk about it a year or two from now when it comes out.
Yeah, 2 Christmases from now. Can you imagine?
It's Christmas 27?
26. So we still have this.
Oh, we still have this Christmas. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what month it is.
Secret Wars will be 27.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's next week?
Shit. I just looked it up too.
Oh, it's him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not excited by him, but I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised by him.
So next week we'll do him. Yeah. And you know what we didn't do?
We could also go see A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. What the fuck is The Senior? Oh.
Looks like another football thing.
I wonder if that's like a religious thing.
Anywho, but
Oh, they're playing Psycho.
next, we didn't talk about Aliens or Peacemaker, so we'll just have to save that for next week. So, if you want to get in contact with us, we are at WRPLpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky. Once again, thanks, Iceman1280. I appreciate the letter.
You're the best, Iceman.
Yeah, I think, was that our first?
I think so.
Did we get one?
We had a comment on the video once.
I mean, I'm seeing more and more comments. Well, actually, I'm seeing a comment from the same person. I think he's going through episodes.
Oh, wonderful. Shout out you, guy.
Yeah, so that's fun. But I don't know if we ever got a letter. But, well, once again, awesome. So, as always, I'm Ben.
And I'm Steve.
And keep consuming.